hotspot, and this has never happened before. I'm dropping like half my frames. What the fuck is going on?
Could it be
we...
like the problem that Discord had, where its host was having issues?
I don't
Because
know.
if the host software or network for Twitch is having issues, then that might explain a lot. I'm also having trouble hearing a couple of people. A couple of you just keep coming in and out.
Yeah, I'm having a little bit of connection issues.
Wait, we keep coming out? That could be a problem.
Yes. I keep having a little bit of connection issue. It doesn't... Okay, so it seems to have calmed down on the dropping frames thing. Okay, yeah, we're down. We're fine now. It's no longer dropping more. Okay, well, that's good. I think it's okay. I think we've managed to settle it. Connection's garbage, yeah. Well, dropping a little there. Nope, dropping more. Fucking... What is the problem?
I lied to you, I'm sorry.
I don't know why we're having this much issue with the mobile hotspot.
I'm sorry.
Whatever, I'm just gonna... Okay.
The horny police are onto me.
I'm gonna have to deafen. Okay. Nope, there we are. Still having issues. What? Is it something OBS side, or is it something... Maybe it's something Twitch side. Because I am on a very strong internet right now. Is the mobile connection bad? No, it's complete. It's strong as ever. I'll check the mobile hotspot settings. Babe, you have like 45 notifications on your phone. What the fuck? Don't you ever clear these? Where are your settings? What? Oh my god, I have no idea where your settings are.
You're so distressed.
Roasting your significant other on a stream.
Well...
When wouldn't you put your significant other on blast, though?
Correct.
Exactly.
I literally cannot find your settings. No, that's adaptive brightness. What? Okay, we're okay-ish on the frames most of the time, which is better than okay-ish on it for most of every minute. So, I'm just gonna continue. You just search settings in the bar! Are you insane? You do that every single time you want to get to your phone settings, is you search settings in your...
Oh,
I hate that.
You know you can put it on your home screen. If it's an app, you can put it on your home screen, babe.
No, but why?
No.
Darn
No.
it. Oh yeah, yes. Yep. You can do that. Okay, so we're gonna move on. If I can figure out how to do it, I will, for you. So we're gonna move on into the city proper. Is my music... My music's doing fine, okay. You have been talking to Lucian on and off, asking questions for the last few days. The train leaves Eventuality's domain and enters the Hunters. And you, you sit through the sort of decon process that the train goes through. How is the dining car? It's fine.
Nothing to write home about.
It's train food.
Yeah,
They
so
serve
what you
mushrooms?
would expect.
Probably. There's a lot of mushrooms down here. They grow in the dark.
Much room for anything else.
Probably smells
God
very
damn
strongly of
it.
mushrooms in the dining car. So, the train passes through its decontamination, and it's somewhat similar to the approach to the City Unseen, but instead of being like a vast sort of multicolored city, the dominant color here is violet. You see there is an immense amount of this deep purple light that sort of shines down upon the city from a massive object embedded in the roof of the cavern. It's not so much embedded as there's another cavern up there, but it's directly above the city. You take it that that is the Violet Undersun.
Nice.
It looks to be about the same size as the city itself.
Damn.
Large.
Lord.
The train
Lord.
comes around the cavern and slowly pulls up into the city and into the station. Lucian waits till it's docked, and then he nods to you guys and he says, "Right, well, let's go face that. Sorry about your surface eyes. You're probably not going to enjoy this." And he will lead you out.
Is it going to be really bright? Or
It's going to be uncomfortable, that's for sure.
You just hear Misa mumble something, something, something. I just got these back. They're still kind of uncomfortable.
God.
He chooses not to address that. He's not going to bother.
Probably for the best.
He leads you out off the train, out onto a platform. He says, "I sent a head note that we were coming in about this time, so if anybody has any news for me, then it'll hopefully be here with..." Oh, yep, there they are. And he looks through the sort of crowd of people around, and there's a smaller, sort of shorter drow who is trying to valiantly to push their way through the crowd towards all of you. And when they finally show up, they kind of pause and they're like, Mr. Lucian, sir, and from their expression he goes, when was it? And they say, 2 days after you left, sir.
Oof.
And you see him just kind of, right, okay, great, wonderful. Have they, I'm guessing they haven't shown back up yet? No, sir. Great. Okay. So it's a waiting game then. Fine. He looks at all of you.
Do we know who
if we could
disappeared?
maybe, I was going to say, if we could know who disappeared and could get something of theirs, we could try scrying on them, see if we can find them.
Yeah,
Or-
We've
that's what I was
tried.
thinking.
Terrible, awful things happen. Oh,
It's,
Do you know where they disappeared from?
he looks to the runner. The runner kind of nods. Yes, it was, the location was discovered. It was, they live behind, one of the laundromats. And it was around the
Can you
side of the
take us
building.
there?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay, let's go. Better to do it now than never. No.
Lucian turns around and he whistles, and you see, from the rear of the train, a very large, dark shape take flight. And he's like, "Alright, Mareis is following, let's go." And you begin to travel through the city of Hreeshie. Like he said, it's not comfortable for your eyes. Because it's like, let's see, I'm trying to find an accurate comparison for this. You know how, like, bowling alleys or laser tag places have, like, parts of the building where they don't have normal lights and they only have, like, cool purple lights?
Yeah.
The entire city is like that.
Ooh.
There's no reprieve. It's all purple.
Oh, I would die.
Rave
Everything's purple.
time.
my brain is like, wee, purple.
It's all purple.
Oh, my eyes. I will. Oh.
You do see there are
Imagining it makes them hurt.
a few of those big fiber optic cables that are ferrying other colored light into some of the buildings and whatnot, but they are not shedding it over the city like the Undersun above is.
Out of curiosity, does wearing the goggles of night make this better or worse?
What do the goggles of night do exactly?
They just give me dark vision.
They kind of turn everything grayscale.
I guess I'll put them on if I get headaches, but leave them off for now, so I have better sight.
Fair enough. You head through the city following the runner. It's a bit of a walk. And Lucian, about halfway through, goes, "Really, we should have called a cab, but alright. I guess we're not going to do that." And they lead you, the runner leads you a good few miles to the location where someone apparently disappeared. And you're taking the opportunity to make observations about the city/people. Sure, roll perception. With, The entire place is dim light, which I've learned gives you disadvantage on perception checks. But I'm not going to bother. Just roll perception. Yes, even if dark vision. Unless dark vision turns dim light to normal.
That for about 60 feet.
Oh,
For
okay.
however long your dark vision range, dim light is the same as normal light.
Okay. Then you're definitely fine. 15 on perception. Okay. Let's see here. The main thing that you notice is that people are tending to move around in groups of 3 or more. You very, very, very rarely see somebody walking alone.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You also don't see people walking in pairs. You ask Lucian why. He looks around. Oh, well, I mean, they've learnt that... Well, if there's 2 of you, and one of you is the killer...
I was about to ask that.
Well, there you go then.
That's fair.
Honestly, that's fair.
If they don't know who it is, they definitely don't want to take chances. I don't know what the hell just happened to his voice there. They don't want to take chances. Well, you try living in a city where 26 people have gone missing and died.
27 now.
Well, they're not
Well,
dead yet.
not dead yet. Yeah.
Well, hopefully. We have no idea where they are, because they just disappeared.
True.
And they can't have teleported because we locked down all the conjuration magic. And they're still disappearing. So... 27 that we know about. I don't like the implication there. I really don't.
That is
But
fair,
you could
though.
be correct. There could be more. Although usually somebody reports a missing person, and at the moment, the only missing person reports that we have in are the ones who went missing and then died due to the Phantom. Know if they're a hermit? I suppose not.
Actually, on the way there, can you tell us anything about this person?
I have no idea who this is.
Well, your runner, I mean.
Oh, hey, speak up. And the runner kind of jumps and goes, "Oh, no. As far as I know, they were just a wash worker at the laundromat."
Do we have a name? Anything like that?
Yes, give me a second.
I know that panic. Flashbacks to Terry.
details.
Procedurally generated
felt
name
that in my soul.
45237.
Yes.
Flashbacks to Terry.
The muscles, though.
There we go. On me. As far as I know, they just worked at the wash, kind of, you know, doing things, moving stuff, carrying things. That tends to be the kind of person who, well, you know.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Right? You, when you finally reach the place, there is a small task force of what look like, investigators, I suppose, like police, I guess, who are in the area. They kind of have roped some of it off, much to the annoyance of anybody who wants to get their laundry done, since it's clearly been several days. But they see Lucian approaching and salute him. He nods to them. And he goes, right, anything? Is there literally anything different at all? And they just kind of shake their heads. And he goes, great, wonderful.
May I investigate?
Sure. What are
May
you
I
investigating for? Yeah, what are you guys trying to find?
Any, like, scuff marks, anything out of place? Maybe where a struggle might have happened?
It's been a few days in this area, so there's no guarantee that
people will
anything you
have-
find.
Yeah, it might be tainted.
I will
Yeah.
give you the option to search, though. Go ahead and roll perception with disadvantage.
I'm going to look for anything left behind.
Okay. Perception with disadvantage.
Can I do investigation? Or is this perception?
Investigation is looking for something specific.
I'm looking for something left behind. I'm
Okay.
looking for anything left behind by that would be like tucked away or something.
Okay, so perception versus investigation is kind of weird when it comes to like objects and places. Perception is like looking for a thing. Investigation is like when you have a trap and you're trying to figure out how it's constructed.
Okay.
So like you already
Mir-
have the thing, you just want to find out more about it.
Mira's
Okay.
gonna go talk to some of the wash place employees.
Okay.
They're present.
I rolled a massive, wonderful 9.
You kind of you
Have
you
I
take a
solved
little
the murder?
walk through. Yes, it was you,
Oh shit.
It's always possible, honestly.
Jekyll and Hyde, baby.
I
You've
can
been
see it.
teleporting into the city and murdering people in your sleep.
Oh, this sucks.
No, none of that. None of that is true.
As the leans
Val-
over to Tim.
What?
I think it's me.
I'm sad.
What?
I don't know why you'd
If
have
it hadn't
such a...
been disadvantage, I would have had a nat 20.
Sorry.
I instead have a 20.
Both of you kind of take a minute to look through the area. Hesse, you kind of you walk along the sort of sidewalk, looking for any sort of marks of a scuffle or like somebody's shoe made a weird, like one of those rubber smears or something. You up and down, you look for maybe weapon marks, nothing. You don't see anything. Misa, you take a look over it, kind of poke around at the cobblestones. The folks tell you that the center of the sphere of anti-magic, I guess, is pretty close to the wall of the laundromat, so they don't actually know if this person was taken from inside or outside.
Okay.
They could have been in the building, they could have been on the sidewalk outside. It's unclear. But regardless, you don't find any sort of dropped possessions.
Was I looking specifically outside?
Yes.
Can I go inside and look?
Sure, but we're first going to handle Mir, who wanted to talk to some of the employees, correct?
Yep.
Okay, Mir.
I guess I'll ask around at the employees, see if anybody, Yes, Zachro?
That's fair.
Okay. Can we ask... Well, first off, can we ask, is there, like, an office or anything where we could ask people questions where it's quiet and where I can maybe put a zone of truth down before we...
Let's see. I mean, I suppose there is, like, a manager's office. It's a laundromat. So you could probably go talk to the manager. But she seems rather harried, and she's like, oh, what now? Oh,
Hi, we're trying to find your missing employee.
I know. And I wish you the best of luck, but I don't have anything to tell you.
Insight?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
That's just a tired retail employee.
That's fair.
Listen, I know you probably have great intentions, but I've already told your people everything. There's
22.
She is tired. She has been questioned before. And she fully believes that there is nothing else she can do to help.
Alright. I asked her, can we talk to any of your employees, or is there a quiet spot where we could speak to each one?
They won't have known anything. They all left before Ronri locked up. She was the one assigned to close that night.
Okay, well, we would like to speak to... I don't know if any of them were on particularly good terms with Henri or talked.
I mean, I suppose some of them were friends, but... You can try. Let's see. She glances back. We've had to, acquiesce to the investigation, so no one's on shift right now because the building is closed. But if you really think it would help, I can give you the registry again.
Again?
Yes, I gave it to the investigators earlier.
Ah.
My employee
We
list.
can ask them if you would prefer. We don't need to cause you any trouble. I know things are shitty.
Yes, I'm aware, and now I'll have to find a new employee. Which I know is the least of the troubles. That sounds heartless. Oh, I know.
No, I get it.
You don't happen to have anything of Ronri's here, do you?
No.
Alright.
Afraid not,
Well,
sorry.
let us know if there's anything we can do to help. We'll ask the other investigators about that.
About the employees?
Yeah, about the employee list.
Sure. They wouldn't have any CCTV or alarm systems in the business. Sure, they had an alarm, but would R have left any hair or anything behind? Who are you asking this? Oh, at the manager. I don't know why I didn't read that. Security footage is wiped. It fell victim to the magic cleansing, which is in a pretty big radius from the sort of area near the wall where it happened. Anti-magic sphere, yep. What time between that and the report of the employee missing? She was reported missing when she didn't show up for work, and somebody went by her house and she wasn't there. Additionally, they had some sort of... They kind of sensed that might be the case because the anti-magic sphere affected magical items within the building. So when you have a very suspiciously spherical area of suddenly these magic items don't work, and that's been the pattern, it's like, well, alright. I see what's happening here. So they reported her missing in the morning when they could not find her, and they found the anti-magic and then confirmed it when she was not at her home. Typhonicus, thank you for the resub. Salem, you are my best friend. Let's see. Where is your thing? Where did I put your... Here you are. Here you are with a little witch hat. Yes. Star for your paper. Thank you so much for your continued support of the Irie.
Can we get a general
It is much
description?
beloved. Ronri, yes. Probably about... See, none of you were tall, except Misa. Well, no, probably about Tiska's height. Very strong, because she was one of the washers. Yo.
We've got a 6-month subscription.
I know, I muted myself to address it.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was like, yeah. I just noted that because I was popping back into stream.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I don't worry about it. I gotcha. I got it. That's why I went suspiciously quiet. Wasn't me plotting. It was me shouting.
For once.
For once.
For once, it was not a plot.
It's not always me plotting. Come on.
It is
Are
a
we
lot.
Have
sure
some
about
faith
that?
in me.
I have faith in you, Falc. I have faith that you're a good DM and you're always plotting.
True.
You know. That's just how it
You're
is.
too good at your job.
Too goddamn good.
So, Ronri, tall as Tiska, very strong, had a weird fondness for yo-yos. Did her
Oh,
job
the
well.
yo-yos.
Well, usually very, very punctual. A good employee, by all accounts.
All I can say to this is big oof.
I think we should stop by her home as well.
Did sound like you've given up already, so that's general attitude about this situation. Yes. Listen, if... It's happened before, and it'll... This is just... It's... We know what's going to happen.
How big is the sphere of non-magic? Like, what?
Radius is probably about 15 feet.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that's bigger than the standard 8th level anti-magic field spell.
Oh, I have an idea.
So whoever did this, either they have the resources, like either they have a lot of resources or they're a very powerful mage.
Yeah. The investigators tell you they have a dust that shows footprints, and it showed nothing.
Huh. Maybe it's something that flies. Yeah. So I just noticed that.
So ours tracks just
Fly is
vanish?
the 3rd level spell.
Yes. So they did manage to determine that she had been taken outside the building after the initial confusion about it. But yeah, her steps just stop. It's worth noting that they stop at the edge of the sphere. So it's possible that was erased by the cleansing.
Oh, I have an idea. Wonderful.
Oh?
Yes.
What is your idea?
Divine sense, because that reach is bigger than the sphere, I'm fairly certain.
Okay, how do you intend to do that? Or rather, what do you
So where
intend
exactly
to do?
is, like... Okay, so divine sense, detect good and evil. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet. That is not behind total cover. So, what I can do is I can go inside and outside of the building.
Mm-hmm.
Because that way I'm not stuffing myself behind total cover, and I can divine sense the area.
Okay, and that will tell you if there's anything currently there?
Or anything affected by a spell outside of the range of the cleansing.
Okay. Sure.
Okay.
So you just do that?
Yeah, I can do this 4 times per long rest.
Nice.
I'm set, guys.
Are you doing outside or inside first?
Outside.
Okay. So where are you standing? Just like in the middle of the sphere zone, or what?
How big is the sphere?
It's 15-foot radius.
Okay, so within 60 feet of me is
Okay.
where divine sense works.
Mm-hmm.
Can
So
I-
I will slap that in the middle of the.
I was just gonna say, before you do that, Mir just wants to try a quick, like, cantrip or something within the sphere to see if the effect is ongoing.
Okay.
Am I able to do cantrip?
Yeah.
Okay. Proceed.
Yeah, I divine sense into the area.
You close your eyes.
I will.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't do
I
that.
will
Just
close
kidding.
my eyes. Oh yeah, huh?
You can't actually do that. You don't have eyelids.
You put your
True.
hands over your eyes.
Misa's going to spread her hands out, palms up,
Okay.
and just sort of inhale, exhale.
Which is how your divine sense specifically works, because as you are a serpent and your goddess is a serpent, it is by smell.
Yeah.
You breathe in, and you breathe out, and you breathe in, and you start to smell unique scents that correlate to the different types of magic in the area. So divine sense tells you exactly what again? Just the presence of...
Until your next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, or undead within 60 feet that is not behind totem cover.
Okay. You breathe in, you breathe out. You smell a very specific divine magic, but it is very clearly the light of the undersun above, which bathes everything. Aside from that, there is nothing celestial, fiendish, or undead nearby at all. And there is no hallow spell.
Okay, yeah, the basic description is detect good and evil, so I'm assuming there's nothing particularly abounding.
Nope, nothing.
Interesting. Okay. Quietly looking at all of my spells and capabilities.
I would like to stop by her house as well.
Okay. Sure. Lucian's been watching this whole time, just kind of eyeing what you're doing. He sighs and shakes his head when he sees you kind of commune with your deity, and he goes, "That does not work for us, at the very least. The hunter can't see, hear, or smell anything about this."
It was worth a shot. That is sort of what my goddess does, you know. So I thought if there was anything that I could do, it would be that.
Well, I appreciate the effort.
And I will continue to do this in various ways as we go along, I think. Who knows, she might tell me something.
By all means.
He's so tired.
He clearly doesn't think it's going to work.
No. This is fine, Misa's used to this.
Alright. Okay, so are you finished up here? Is there anything else you'd like to do here?
I think I'm done.
Okay. With that, you can head to Ranri's house, if you so desire. If you're sure there's no hairs or anything. The investigators scoured this place 2 days ago, when Ranri first disappeared. They didn't find anything. Lucian will accompany you as you head towards her house, and he says, "If you're hoping to scry on something of hers, I'll let you know right now that it's not going to work."
Nah, I just want to see her home.
Okay.
Also, get something that smells like her. That would be
Why?
helpful. Because I have a weasel, obviously.
You want to make your weasel track.
At least if we get near her, or where she's been, we'll be able to tell. That's my thought process right now.
Sure.
He's
Sounded
immediately
unimpressed.
just so angry with the web mother for doing this. Just like, why would you give me these?
Right.
Why would you give me these people?
We're trying our best.
I have a quick question
They
before
don't
we
know
leave.
what they're doing.
Up from where Ronri disappeared, there isn't anything?
Could you repeat the first half of that?
Before we head off, I was curious if there's anything if I looked up from where Ronri disappeared.
Open air.
Okay.
We might be against something flying. I think whoever said that was on the right track. Jacob?
Entirely possible.
Something
Heck
with the
yeah.
capability to levitate or fly, yeah.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is that isn't a very short list.
Very true.
Yeah.
Not what I would call easy to figure out.
No,
Which
no.
does links,
Levitate
you know,
is what, a second level spell?
what is?
Levitate.
Levitate. I think it's second level.
Aye. It's lends maybe the slightest shred of credence to your idea about some sorts of zealot, but again, it
There's
also
also
lends credence to
question,
100
though.
other ideas.
Yeah, I was gonna say the flying though would have to still work within an anti-magic sphere unless that was cast after the fact.
Or unless it is someone with a bat.
It could be a bat.
Yeah,
But-
I mainly was getting at the perhaps it was someone who had a non non-magical way of flying.
Either
a mount or wings or something.
Right, but I can't see a reason that any servant to the hunter would prey on the hunter's own people.
What if it has been corrupted?
By what?
That would be the question.
Oh. Another theory among 1,000 theories. Feel free to pose it to the investigators. Oh wait, that's me.
Okay, Mir sort of steps in front of him. It kind of looks at him and goes, "Look, I know. We are not the correct team of specialists you're looking for. But would it hurt for us to try?"
I'm not stopping you.
Would it hurt to have a little less attitude?
He's not impressed. He says, right, go ahead and be chief investigator for this, and then get back to me on the attitude problem.
All I'm trying to say is that we're trying to help. Okay?
Sure, I know. I'm aware. Listen, I know, I'm aware. I am aware.
Yeah, can I insight Lucian?
Can I insight him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I as well?
Sure.
25.
He is frustrated.
Jesus.
He is tired and irritated. He's already heard most of the things that you've said, probably from 40 different sources. So it's like when, you know, you're asked the same question 16 times in a row by different people, because each one of them individually doesn't know the answer, but you have to dish out the answer 16 times in a row, and it gets really fucking annoying. That's the emotion he has.
Fair.
Like, yes, I've heard this. Yes, I've heard. Yep, yep, I've heard that. Yep. Nope, that's not. Yep, it doesn't work that way. Right. I've already thought of
Poor
that.
bastard.
Well, perhaps we could look at the case file and any theories written down in there, and we could have a better
Yes.
idea of what you have so far.
I will absolutely grant you access to that. The unspoken, so that I don't have to answer any more fucking questions.
Hey, look, that is literally what I was proposing because of that, was that if we looked at it, we would have less questions to ask you.
You are more than welcome to do so. I will give you access back at the city center.
Mir gives it like a little thumbs up.
Okay. Are we going to the...
Yes.
Okay.
I assumed we were talking about this on the way.
Yes. I mean, you stepped in front of him so he couldn't move.
Oh.
It's like,
True.
can I go?
Well, I only did that until it kind of chilled out a little bit. But I have a sense that's not going to happen. So let's just go.
I'm gonna fly part of the way there because after 2 days on a train, my wings are cramped as hell.
Lucian
That's fair.
does look up and he says, be careful doing that. The bats can be territorial.
Oh.
If you go too high,
Gotcha.
they'll, you know, strike at you, probably. Mareis won't, because he knows who you are, but... The air's patrolled. Just so you know.
Thanks.
And you do notice now that when you head up, there are a fair number of bats that kind of seem to keep watch over the area. Some of them are stationary, hanging from the ceiling. Some of them are in flight.
I think the best theory right now is probably somebody with a bat bond. Is that the correct terminology?
Yeah.
Like you. You said this is it a
Are you-
common thing to have this kind of bond, or
All
is
of
it
the-
only...
That's
The way it is that the bats are the servants of the hunter, right? He made them. He created them. Those are his. Anyone with a bat bond is a servant to the hunter. That's it. Nobody else has them.
I'm assuming, or I shouldn't assume. Are any of them kept as non-bond, either pets or steeds?
Well, they're not kept because they're sapient, so jot that down. They're
Okay.
people.
Can we question the bats? Would they have seen anything?
We've checked. Nothing. When I said no witnesses, the bats count as witnesses. They haven't seen it.
Okay.
Upsetting that if this is a flying culprit, either none of them have seen it or someone has seen something and is not saying something.
It's
I don't know
possible.
which one upsets me more.
It's possible that maybe someone's been lying about seeing nothing. The bats can see, you know. They have
Yes.
pretty decent eyesight.
Yes.
Even if you're silent, there's a chance they'll catch you, but...
My
No.
fear is that someone might be lying.
I mean, we've run most of our people through Zone of Truth. Because we
Fair
obviously don't
enough.
question without that.
I would hope not.
I mean, that's just an amateur move. When it comes to something like this, anyway. About this time, you arrive at the given address for Ronri's home. It is about as ordinary a building as you can imagine. It's like a brownstone, basically.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
For, like, anyone maybe watching the building?
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, do we know if Ronri lived alone or if anyone lived with her?
Yeah, no, she lived alone.
18.
Okay. You take a look around, kind of just, like, peek at the rooftops. There is nobody. There are a couple windows that look out on the street that can see this building. Additionally, you do see Mareis, who is on the roof of the building across the street, watching you guys. He has landed there and is kind of keeping an eye on you. There doesn't appear to be anybody else monitoring your position.
Alright. Inside we go.
Sure thing. You head on in. The runner, I think, let's see, would you guys have the keys to this place?
I mean, I can open the door.
I'm gonna say Lucian probably would have asked for the keys from the investigators at the place, at the laundromat. Just because they probably had a copy at this point. So he can get the door open for you guys. You head in, and it is, again, it's about as ordinary as you can imagine. Bed,
Unsettling.
shelves, books.
Can I get Egg to maybe get a good tell of what her scent is? Like
Sure.
what she smells like?
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a bunch of her clothing and stuff left over, a bunch of personal possessions, trinkets, odds and ends.
Can I check for anything that's particularly out of place or strange?
Sure.
Can I investigate for, like, hints as to where she's been in the last week before she died? Like, weird pamphlets or notes?
An appointment book.
Appointment book, that would be great.
Yeah, sure. Both of you roll perception, I think.
So that's with or without disadvantage?
Without disadvantage. You're in a building now. There's lights.
Cool.
Aww. That's a 5.
That is an 18.
Misa, you were looking for things out of place? Okay.
Strange or out of place, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Hessa, you poke around. You don't see, like, a appointment notebook. Do people
Okay.
I
keep...
got a 22 for perception.
Nice, okay. Misa, nothing looks to be out of place. Like, this is an ordinary home. It's slightly messy, like, it's lived in. There's, like,
Yeah.
books on the table. One of them's open, whatever. Pens, pencils scattered around, just from somebody doing crosswords. There's some yo-yos. There's a couple of yo-yos. One of them's on the sort of, coffee table. It's not wound up. It's just a yo-yo.
Okay.
It's yellow, if that means anything to you.
Nope.
Mir, you poke around, and let's see. I suppose you can, yeah, with a 22, You poke your nose, your beak, I suppose, into sort of the bedroom. Bed is made. Things are folded and hung up. But you do sidle over and pull open one of like the drawers of the dresser, and in the top one there is a slim leather notebook.
I peruse the notebook.
It's a diary.
Oh.
Ooh,
Is there a language I
spicy.
can understand?
It is in Undercommon, so probably not.
Then I'll probably give it to. Yeah.
You can read Undercommon? Cool. Yeah, you page through it. This lady's life was not exciting. She enjoyed yo-yos. And crosswords.
I'm sure it was plenty exciting to her. I was curious if there's anything in
The fridge.
leading up to her disappearance in there, or also if she had any odd mail. I don't know.
Odd mail, I see, like threatening messages.
Threatening messages, invitations to odd things.
Sure. You page through, you focus on the latter portion of the diary, the latter portion that's actually written, and about half of it is blank. Looks like she was partially through this volume. She doesn't note anything odd happening. She doesn't note, like, mysterious figure outside my bedroom window or anything. She doesn't take note of any strange things she's seen or heard. Everything seems completely normal.
Is there any mention of like the
Phantom?
current events? Yeah.
Occasionally. I mean, like, she notes down that she is frightened of the Phantom, that she's worried because she lives alone. But so do plenty of other people. And she's not a athlete or a soldier, so she should be okay, right? Still, she thinks about...
Breaking my heart here, Falcon.
She thinks maybe she'll meet up with a couple of friends and see if maybe they should move in together for a little while. For safety. But she's not sure. She's thinking about doing it. More interested to see if she had any goals she was pursuing. Not in particular. She seemed pretty happy with what she was doing. Maybe she wanted a new potted plant.
Mood.
Honestly. Any traces of anything on the diary, such as? Something scryable. I mean, she's written in it words, she's touched it before. There's probably hair in the area.
Yeah, I was like, does she have a hairbrush somewhere?
Yeah, in the bathroom.
Cool. Pull some hairs.
Lucian sees you doing it and he goes, okay, sure, give it a try. It's not gonna work. But go ahead. Are you going to attempt to scry?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have to pull up the description of the spell scrying again.
We'll see.
Scrying. Roll20.net, tell me.
I guess I might as well this now? No. Legend lore about Phantom.
Legend lore about the Phantom. Interesting, okay.
Yeah, I'm about to spend some expensive spell points, but
Yeah, that's a pricey one. But that is a good idea. The Phantom is approaching legendary status, pretty much. as it...
So whenever I have a convenient 10 minutes to do that in.
Scrying also takes 10 minutes, so you guys do this at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Right. Only one of these is much easier than the other. Tiska, the spell fails.
Yeah. Anything interesting about that? About how it fails?
It just fails.
Just doesn't
You can't
work.
target this person.
Mm-mm.
And Lucian says, I told you. I told you, they don't... It just doesn't work.
And I've scryed on somebody who is dead before
Mm-hmm.
and got their grave.
Right. Yep.
So it's not...
Whatever's happening, you just can't target this person. Something is preventing you. Scrying work across planes. Let's see.
I don't believe so.
You can see
Quick
or
question
end here.
from,
No, it does not. Yes.
Just a quick question for Legend Lore. It says, incense worth 250 gold pieces if the spell consumes, and 4 ivory strips worth at least 50 gold pieces each. Does that mean the ivory strips are not consumed?
I don't think they are now.
Okay.
You burn the incense. I don't know what you do with the ivory. Eat it, maybe? Probably not. Grind it up and burn
That
it.
would be upsetting.
I don't
I'm
know.
assuming that
Here
it's
sets
like
them
a...
out as like a ritualistic pattern around the...
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
It's using teeth to eat
There.
teeth. Don't like. So, yes. So, Tiska, the spell fails. You can't target them.
Here burns all her incense.
Mir, you cast Legend Lore on the Phantom. Okay, let me go get Legend Lore the spell. So I know exactly what I can or cannot tell you. You think ivory looks like white chocolate? I guess. Okay. It's difficult to get a connection to your gods down here. I will say that. It's not impossible, so you cast a spell and you get an answer. But it's difficult. Your current hypothesis is they're ported into a nightmare pocket dimension where they are hunted to death by the Phantom, then dumped into the material plane. Do you say that out loud? Nope. Okay. As you were about to get fucking roasted by Lucian if you said that out loud.
He would hold no punches.
Legend lore. Mir, you see... Let's see. What's the best way to do this?
It's also like nearly 9, so if you want to take a short break and have 10
Ooh.
minutes, consider it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We'll come back when your spell is complete, and we'll do a little 10-minute break now.
It has a casting time of 10 minutes, so...
Hey! Back on the hour? Back on the hour. Alright, I'll see you guys then. Now I gotta figure out how to legend lore this. Right. I am going to pop this microphone on mute and get to work. See you guys in 10. Right. Well, I'm back, and I basically know what I'm gonna say. Alright. I basically know what I'm gonna say. Okay. Let's go get my players. Okay.
Hello.
Welcome back. Has it been 10 minutes? It's been 10 minutes.
It's
Yeah.
been 10 minutes.
Right. Okay.
It has indeed.
Mirror. Your spell. It takes a little bit to get an answer. It feels like you're trying to drag the answer out of the mud. But, oh right, I have to see who's answering first. Which one of the gods having a slap fight over you is the one who gets to, speak? High or
Oh my
low?
god. Hi?
Okay.
No, wait, it's the Underdark. It should be low.
You want low?
Sure.
Alright. Okay. You do get an answer. And you're sitting down probably for this?
Probably.
You're chilling on the
As
couch.
I literally burn money in front of me.
Oh, yep. That's true. You probably use the coffee table for this or something. You're sitting on the couch or maybe on the floor, and then you blink, and then it's you in space. Because you're just in a black void speckled with stars.
I look around. I go, hello?
No one answers you, but you do see, in addition to the stars, there are these, like, wisps and banners of, like smoke, almost, but they're colored and they shine. You don't know what a nebula is, but if you did, you would know this to be a nebula. And in it, you start to see flickers of color and motion. And you see a coarsely woven tapestry. It's black on one side and purple on the other. And there is a tapestry needle moving through it with a white thread. And every so often, it pauses when it's on the purple side, and a red little piece of yarn becomes tied to it. There's nobody's hands doing this or anything, it's just happening. And then it will continue to move back and forth through the tapestry. You can't quite get a glimpse of the pattern.
Did I accidentally contact the web mother instead? Weaver and such.
You blink and you are back sitting down. No, you were in Nova's space.
Ah. That was cryptic.
Indeed.
I will mention this to the rest of the group when we have a moment, but I'm debating whether or not to mention it to Lucian, or if he's just gonna roll his eyes at me again.
He actually seems curious about what you're doing. He kind of eyes you.
I'm casting a spell. It's supposed to give me some information or background on legends and their lore and things. I figured, since it's already got a name and theories around it, that maybe the Phantom would count.
That's interesting. Did you get an answer?
Define answer.
Did anything happen?
Yes. And I will describe what I saw.
Huh. And he's actually really considering this. He says, we've not been able to get answers on that sort of thing before.
Oh.
The hunter doesn't know. And I guess that means we don't.
Well, I guess some of stuff going on would fall under Nova's domain. Secrets and life and death and all that.
How does your god know, but ours doesn't?
Maybe it's somehow connected to the surface? Or
Maybe.
someone could have found some magic to specifically hide them from the hunter, because they think that since that's the god that's here, that's the one they need to hide from.
That's possible. It could be tailored. Previously, well, I didn't think so, because neither our divine magic via the hunter or any of the academic magic that we used worked. But yours has. Huh. Right. Right. Well. I don't know what that means. But I think it's important.
Well, keep it in mind, I guess.
Aye.
Your kind of looks over to just because, like, I'm guessing the scrying didn't work out.
Tiska shakes her head.
Alrighty. Well, unless we think we can find anything else here, I guess we could set up time to talk to the employees or anyone who knows our most recent disappeared Ranri, sorry. And then I guess for what you've found. Well, yeah, we should read it through the case file so we can stop asking you stupid questions. And I could take a look at any of the bodies, unless they've been buried already or burned or whatever the ritual rites are.
Usually we take care of the bodies pretty quickly, because we learn everything we can, and there's not a lot to learn from that.
Okay.
But stay tuned, you'll get another one in a few days.
Oh, I hope not. Yeah.
Right. Well, it's actually getting pretty
Mira
late.
kind of like looks at him and she's like, "Do you want a hug?"
No, don't touch me.
Okay. Sorry. Nope. I won't.
It's getting pretty late, as you can tell by the sort of fluctuations in the sun's radiance. And he looks up and he goes, "Right, okay. I sent ahead for accommodations for you. And there's a pretty decent cafe nearby, so I can take you over there to get something to eat before you rest, I suppose. It's about night."
Thank you very much.
No problem. And he will lead you, if there's nothing else you want to do in Ranri's house, is there?
He's been unsuccessfully investigating a serial murderer. What's his problem?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
I guess.
pictures? Wait, what pictures?
You know, the ones with every clue.
I don't know what
Are
pictures
there
you're
any
talking
family
about.
photos or anything?
Oh, like displayed?
Yeah.
There's probably a nice framed photo or art piece work thing of Ranri with like a drow couple. It's probably your parents.
Now I'm extra sad.
Rip.
Yep. There's a photo of no, there's another one. It's her balancing a yo-yo on her nose. Yes, they've been contacted.
We gotta join the yo-yo club, guys. That's the whole plot of this murder. Yo-yos.
I mean, I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard things similar to them were used as weapons, so.
I think Ranri can yo-yo her way out of this situation.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't figure out if it's, the murder weapon was
The power of yo-yos.
I wish her luck. You're done here? Alright. So, he'll take you, Lucian will take you back through the city. He's a bit annoyed at having to walk, but all of you can't fly, so he will just walk, and Mareis will fly above. He's used to flying places.
Misa cannot fit into a cab.
Yeah.
To be quite frank, she could probably be a cab.
God. Hey, Falc.
Yo.
Anyone tired? Yeah.
Can I use... If I use my sense of place ability, are there any, like... Are there any, like, portals or potential portals within range that I can find?
Did I put a radius on that? Just out of curiosity.
I don't remember. I'm gonna check.
I
Discord search decides to work.
should have, probably, if I didn't. Get some water. Remember to stay hydrated, everybody.
Hydrate or dihydrate.
Hydrate so you can cry when I kill Ronri.
Oh!
Damn. That's rude.
Oh no.
Oh, mercy. Damn.
She likes yo-yos though, Falc.
Yes, that
And?
she does.
You're talking is only this mean to the player characters.
This is being mean to the player characters.
Yes.
It is.
God damn it.
You have
We-
not you didn't specify the radius in which sense of place affects.
Let's call it the same radius as commune with nature,
Okay.
which is
So
like
that's
5 miles or something.
yeah. I just had Communion with Nature pulled up.
I'm wondering whether we should ask for the case file now to read this evening, or whether we should not do that since we're having a meal soon.
I would say not do that. Personally.
Okay. So communion with nature is 3 miles, or in caves and other natural underground settings, the radius is limited to 300 feet.
Wow.
Does that apply here?
Nah.
Okay.
You close your eyes and you sort of reach out with your mind as you've learned to do. There are no portals. And actually, the sheer lack of... I'm speaking in my water bottle. Sorry, I was echoing. The sheer lack of extraplanar influence is actually weird, because when you're in a city, usually you can feel like, oh, this person's connected some everyday object to the plane of water because it's a fountain that never stops or something. And there's a bunch of little stuff like that. It's stuff touching other planes because that's just how the multiverse works. There is none of that here. Absolutely none of it. There is not a single portal open anywhere.
Is that normal for the Underdark? Or
That's not normal for a city.
Didn't Lucian say something about cutting off conjuration magic? Is that the same?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Portals
go.
are conjuration magic.
There you go. We figured out one mystery, guys. I think we're good here.
Great work. You solved my no portals puzzle.
God.
But yes, you heard earlier, they locked conjuration magic. No portals can be opened. If you try to teleport or cast a conjuration spell, it will just fizzle.
So, like, if somebody somehow managed to bypass that, it would be really noticeable for me, right?
Very. It would be very noticeable.
Okay. That's something to keep in mind.
Lucian will lead you all the way to this nice little cafe. Small place. There's people there, talking, chatting. Seems the atmosphere is slightly hushed. which you can tell is probably due to the missing person that they all know will turn up soon. A few people note Lucian and throw him dirty looks.
Wow.
And he does not stick around. He shows you guys the cafe. He points you towards like an inn where you're going to be staying, and he will tell you either to meet him here tomorrow at 9, or he'll come find you if there's any developments.
Poor bastard.
And before anybody can say anything nasty to him, he will call Mareis down, climb on, and fly off.
I feel so bad for him.
No wonder he's got an attitude problem.
Yeah.
Alright. So, is that it for the night?
I think so. Unless anyone else has an
Kinda
idea.
Insight the dirty glares. It's because it's your job to catch the killer and you haven't done so, kind of thing, right?
It doesn't really require an insight check to make that connection.
Yeah.
Rip.
Rip.
Ripperonis.
So, unless there's anything else you'd like to do, we'll advance to the morning.
I'm just gonna... The whole time we're doing this, just assume that if Mira has a 4th level spell, at the end of the day she casts Death Ward on herself before she goes to sleep.
Fair enough.
Also, I've told
Fair
Egg
enough.
to signal to me.
I've been murdered in my sleep once already. I don't want to
Oof.
repeat the experience.
That's fair.
Oof.
That's fair. Misa will summon something out of the bag.
Can you?
Can you?
Can you?
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
Can she?
rip.
She will try to take something out of the bag.
Let's see here. It doesn't specifically say that it is a conjuration magic item. It just says it's a wondrous item.
I would assume
Misa will
it's
assume that they're an
transmutation.
anti-magic thing, and she's just not going to. Yeah.
You think it's transmutation? Yeah, that does
I
kind of
would
make
think
sense.
transmutation because there's like fuzzy things in that
That's
you
true.
pull out and that they turn into.
Yeah, because it is one fuzzy ball that becomes many things depending on what you roll.
Yeah, okay, so it'll be transmutation. Alright, so roll a d6.
Yeah. I need this. 4.
4. Roll a d8.
That's my bag of d10s.
Also, annoyingly, I'm guessing that the decanter of endless water doesn't work, though, because that probably is definitely a conjuration.
1.
1. That's fun. You
You're just
pull
like,
out
I need to go get a new water bottle.
you pull out a rusty colored little bauble in your hand, and
Okay.
you toss it onto the floor. And it doesn't really get that much bigger,
Oh.
but it does
Is it a
expand
hamster?
into the form of a ruddy colored rat.
Nice.
No.
You have a rat.
Wonderful.
Hey, Val.
Yo.
She's going to name this rat something. I do not know what yet.
Ratatouille.
Can we use the bag of holding while we're in this city?
Let me look up what kind of magic the bag of holding is.
Oh no.
Just spits everything out.
No, I think you just wouldn't be able to access it, really.
Yeah.
Shit, I had important stuff in there.
Yeah,
This
I don't
rat's
think you
name
can.
is-
It's specifically
rat's-
an extra-dimensional space, which
Yeah.
all extra-dimensional spaces are conjuration-based, so no. You open up the bag of holding, it's a bag. It's a normal-looking bag.
Mir looks on the verge of tears when she can't crochet to de-stress during this time.
Oh.
Sorry.
Look, my coping mechanism!
Also, I've told Egg to signal to me if she smells anything that smells like whatever her name is.
Ronri.
Ronry.
Aye aye.
Yo-yo bro.
Do you do anything else before you sleep?
No.
That
Okay.
rat's name is Marie.
All right.
Aw.
Would I be able to? I'm assuming I probably just have like a stick in my bag because I'm a druid and that happens sometimes.
Sure. Yeah.
Would I be able to carve a crochet hook from your?
Yeah, you've carved things in the past.
Yeah.
That's like a thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
You're the one that made those figurines, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can do that.
Is it an
That's like a
issue
background
since
thing.
Mir's more expensive spell components might have been in the bag?
I'm not gonna bother with that.
Okay. Just assume I just have the small things I keep on me.
Yeah.
I still have the emergency healing potion that I wear on the strap of the bag
Yeah.
for people to stuff down my throat if I'm ever like bleeding out.
Okay, so moving on. We all good?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Oh man.
You are woken at 8:45 the next morning
Oof.
by
Misa wasn't asleep.
someone who knocks on all your doors and tells you that Lucian is here to see you and
Damn it.
call upon you.
Guess who's probably dead?
You likely dress with haste and hurry down. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Lucian is waiting by the entryway to this inn. Mareis is on the ground next to him. He looks both grim and infuriated.
I'm assuming this is not good news.
Yep. You're right.
Oh boy, I'm not happy about that.
I don't think anyone is.
Did they find her?
Yes.
Tiska swears in Infernal.
Misa swears in Old Yuan too.
Mir's learning many new swears today.
But hey, look, you have your opportunity to look at a fresh crime scene if you think that'll help at all.
Mir just kind
It's
of
worth a chance.
Hurry up.
nods sadly.
Come on,
Just,
it was
lead the way.
only
let's
found
go.
an hour ago, so we should be pretty quick. Maybe we'll catch something, maybe we won't. I think we
Worth a
found this
try.
one faster than we find most. It's on a rooftop.
Interesting.
Have
Aye,
all
aye.
the bodies been found in open areas?
No, some of them have been inside houses. Or
Alright.
buildings. Once one was on a wall, just kind of smeared.
Oh boy.
It's not enjoyable to
Upsetting.
look at.
Person seems to be taking great pains to avoid patterns.
It might not be great pains at all. It might be a frenzy.
It could be, or it could be multiple people, all with different styles, if you will.
Taking their pound of flesh? Possibly.
Something like that, yeah. He leads you sort of towards the city center, sort of towards downtown, honestly. And there's a fountain square on the way that is rather open. There's a lovely fountain in the middle. And you can see there are, like, investigative police surrounding one of the buildings on the far side of the square from where you enter. There are 2 ladders that have been leaned up against the building, and you see people on top of it.
I'm a
Can
fly
Misa-
up there.
Can Misa go up ladders?
No, you can't.
Oh no.
You have to find
Didn't
some other
think
way
so.
up.
Are there stairs inside the building? That go all the way up?
Yeah, there's probably a roof access. I don't see why
Great.
not.
Go that way.
Alright.
I guess we'll ask, how does one get up to the roof? Is it laterally, or is there access from within the building?
Yeah, there's probably access from the building. It's just faster to go by ladder.
Misa is, unfortunately, a little too big for this.
Yep. And
Doesn't have
here,
feet.
I will go ahead and issue the second warning for the upcoming content, which is going to be pretty visceral. So if you have any sort of hang-ups around gore, I would recommend muting until I say it is safe, both for you guys and for the chat. Keep that in mind. It is not going to be pretty. Consider this your warning. Thank you.
I have played your dragon games.
Yes, it's worse.
Oh, I've read
I don't
Game
know
of
if it's worse than the
Thrones.
Scholar. So,
The Scholar was
Scholar's pretty
pretty
the
bad.
Scholar
rough.
was
It's rough.
it's on par with the Scholar, I'll say that.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Scholar.
Love the Scholar. So, all of you are heading up?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. What is the Scholar? We'll explain later.
Don't worry
We
about
will,
it.
yeah.
It was something.
It was a whole
Bad.
thing.
Because chat says gore time, and the Scholar was brutal, and the Scholar was how you say fucking disgusting.
I love the
All
Scholar. The
out.
Scholar was great.
Scholar was amazing.
I wasn't there for that.
For the best.
So, you head up the ladders and roof access, and all of you are going up?
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
You find, on top of the roof, there is a sort of perimeter, and then probably about 10 feet from the roof's edge, there is the remains of a person, which is about as kindly as you can put that. It takes you some time to locate most of the body, as it is mostly scattered. You can piece together bone fragments if you find them, but most of the flesh is just scraps. So it's mostly just torn apart shreds that you can find sort of scattered over the area, centered in like one area, but some of them are thrown, I don't know, 5-10 feet away.
I'd like to do a medicine check to check, like, how long ago did this person die?
dead,
what
Jim.
tore them apart? Yeah, well, yeah, obviously.
I know, I'm sorry, I had to say it. Yeah, go ahead.
Not even only mostly dead. Very, very much entirely dead.
You can't really get
Oh,
more
yeah,
dead than
super
this.
dead.
I rolled crap, so I'm using that point of inspiration I have saved. That's better. From way back when, burying somebody else who was dead. Whee!
Hooray!
Dead people.
That is 8, 25.
Jesus.
I
Yeah.
have a +8, and I rolled a 17 on my second go.
Earlier, Lucian gave you guys like these plastic lanyards that you could put on and be like, "This is my pass. I'm allowed to do this" when going around crime scenes. And
I
he's
will
with
do
you
my
now.
best not to disturb the body.
Yeah,
as I
you kind of gotta
observe,
tiptoe
it's
around
not
because
too much.
there's bits of meat everywhere.
Yeah.
So you gotta try real hard not to.
Here, cause
Yeah. You get up to the main pile of pieces. Are you gonna like poke through it, or are you just gonna look?
Are the other investigators looking through it all, or they leave you be like?
Some of them look.
I guess I'll ask whether I can move things. Like I won't touch them directly. I'll use a bit of a stick or something, but I.
One of them
want to
can.
check what-
One of them will hand you like a steel rod, where you can use it to gently move things. Looks like they have gotten used to the idea that they kind of have to do that with bodies like this. You step up and you start to poke around, kind of crouched next to the largest mass of bits. You can pick out pieces of flesh that have skin on them. You can pick out portions of organ meat. So most of the body appears to be present-ish. You do locate the skull. As you thought, there is no mouth. It has been torn off. And you do a bit of a search around for the mandible, but you cannot locate it. Oddly enough, there is not a whole lot of blood up here. Which you would assume there's a lot of blood for the amount of trauma that this flesh went through, but there's not.
So likely they didn't die here.
Yes.
Like it's possible it was something that drank the blood, but if there's literally like very little mess other than the actual flesh, then I would say probably didn't die here.
So the blood was maybe taken?
Or it was not done here.
Or they
Yeah.
died elsewhere.
Yeah.
Can I tell from the tearing what, like, is it cut with like an implement or torn? Can I get any sort of look at was it teeth or claws or
I was actually gonna check the bone charts that
Just-
we found.
Okay.
pulled art?
You poke through it, and what you get in return is confusing. You do find a few pieces of skin where you can pick out a single, like a puncture from a tooth.
Awful. Great.
So you can see that something was biting and tearing at this. A lot of the sort of breakage in the muscle and meat it was quite literally torn apart. It wasn't severed, it was torn. So it was just straight up ripped. So it's a very messy cut. It's ragged and sort of, like there's bits of connective tissue that kind of dangle off and whatnot. You do find several cuts that appear cleaner than teeth or tearing. But you can't tell if that's by chance or if that's from a blade. It could have just been from a stone. The cuts aren't, like, super clean, so it doesn't look like some kind of steel weapon, and if it is, it's a weird one.
Maybe serrated blade.
Maybe a serrated blade.
Or just a sharpened stone weapon of some kind.
Yeah, if it's a weapon, it's not a normal sword or dagger. You locate the skin of the palm of one of the hands, and you can peer at it and see that it is scraped up, and there are fragments of, like, gravel, like grit in them. Like, still stuck to it.
Climbing something or crawled around on the ground.
Mm-hmm. You do not find any pieces of cloth or clothing.
Can we tell what kind of rock it is? Like, that's just kind of stuck in there?
Yeah, you can, and Brahm just knows rocks, so he can just tell you. It is like a, let's see here. It's almost like a pumice. Which strikes you as odd, because this is not a volcanic area.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I guess I'll ask the investigators or Lucian or bring that to their attention and be like, is there anywhere in the area that has pumice?
No.
Or that kind of stone?
And furthermore, you notice something else while you're poking around in the remainder of the innards. On top of a few scraps of flesh, you find another piece of stone, which you would disregard were it not on top of the meat. And it's like a brown stone. There's like a weird bit of brown stone. Looks like it's been broken. It's unmarked. But if you bring it up, Brahm, you have a knowledge of stonework and stones. It is mudstone.
Is that from anywhere in the area?
No, not at all. Mudstone is a sedimentary precursor to shale. It's weird, you're on the top of a building, so it would have to have fallen from the roof on top of the body before it was found.
Or fallen from something dropping it all.
Where is the mudstone located? It is probably round right in the center of the mess.
Detect magic?
You cast Detect Magic, you detect nothing.
Okay.
The area's been cleansed magically. Oh, where in the world? Usually it's found around river areas. Is it dry, moist, wet? Well, it's slightly moist from having been on a wet piece of meat, but other than that, no, it's dry.
Can I tell how long she's been dead?
Less than a day.
Rigor, Yeah, it would be noticeable in whatever muscle is left. Theoretically speaking, if there is any.
Not a whole lot is left to tug on anything
Yeah.
else. I'll say that. So,
Yeah, I assumed.
Yeah, mostly going off of how dried is it?
yeah. She's been dead less than a day.
Yeah.
Hess is gonna look up, are there any cave systems?
Above?
Like that the bats, that the bats maybe move through?
There are some, but they're closer to the edges of the city where the cavern slopes down. Above you is actually just open straight up to the undersun. There's not actually cavern roof above you.
And there's no volcanic
No, not at all.
activity here.
We'll turn to Lucian and go, are there any portals or transport to the surface nearby?
No. You have to get here by train.
This may be a waste of a high-level spell slot. We're gonna try it. True seeing. Do
Okay.
I know anything intriguing? Anything
True seeing.
hidden by magic, invisible, in the ethereal plane, up to a
In
range of
the
120.
ethereal plane.
And I'll make sure to look up too.
Okay. Let's see.
Just don't look
Secret
directly at the
doors
undersun.
hidden by magic, seen to the ethereal plane, all at a range of 220 feet. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Can you see magic?
Says for the duration the creature has true sight. Notice secret doors hidden by magic, seen to the ethereal plane. And let's see what true sight says. That has a dream.
I've got it up.
Okay. What does that reveal?
Let's see. Can see in normal magical darkness, see invisible creatures and objects, automatically detect visual illusions and succeed on saving throws against them, and perceive the original form of a shape changer or a creature that is transformed by magic.
Oh, that's fun.
You can also see into the ethereal plane within the range.
Okay. So it doesn't let you just, like, see magic.
No.
Okay. You cast
Unless
True
this
Seeing.
counts as a creature transformed by magic, but I don't know if
She was transformed into rubble. The rubble of a
I
person.
don't know whether that counts.
I don't think it was by magic, though. I think it was by Jaws.
Figured I'd ask.
Detect magic's been done already.
Detect magic? Yes. Okay. What you will notice... Detect magic? Wait, is this the first time you're casting it?
No, I
I
think
cast it
someone
on
else-
the pebble, in the area of the pebble, but if you wanted to
Ah.
cast it, I don't know how big the roof is, whether my casting covered more than
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I'm gonna combine your guys' efforts together into giving you a thing.
Okie dokie.
You can map out the shape and exact location of the sphere. That the anti-magic sphere. The dead center of it is where you found that piece of mudstone.
Huh. Was anything like that found at other scenes?
Lucian frowns and he goes, I don't think so, or I don't know, to be honest.
I was gonna say, this is I think a more arcane thing. I don't know if it's divine or not in terms of spells. Ask Zachrow if he knows if it could be used as a focus or...
A focus. I mean, he kind of takes it and he looks over it and kind of grimaces as he holds it because it's still got some slime on it. I suppose, well, it's broken now, but maybe mudstone's weak. It's not a thing that you use to craft stuff. It's not something that you'd use for a focus.
I mean, it's kind of...
It's designed to break, basically. It's if you throw it on anything, it'll just shatter.
Maybe that's
what
the
would I-
point.
That might be the point.
Since this is a spell I can cast, do I, like, roll something to tell what the components of this kind of spell would be, or
I don't know what you're trying to do.
The components of the sphere spell.
Oh, you don't know what
would
spell it
assume-
is.
Yeah. If anything, that would be an arcane
right?
or
That's what.
arcana check to see what the spell is, maybe.
I'd have you do an arcana to see what this could possibly mean.
Zakra, do you want to do an arcana? Like, I can roll, but I have a -1 on that, so.
Oh, that would be a mistake.
And he's got like a
Yeah.
plus 25, so.
Can I cast?
Look, I'm not the
cunning?
smartest birdie in the bunch.
Yeah, you can do the
Can I
cunning.
give?
I try.
Yeah, or whatever the intelligence one is. I think that one's Fox.
Yes, I believe so. Does that give him advantage then?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Enhance ability.
22. Yes, you have an idea. It is possible that this stone could have been a runestone. As you know, people can cast spells into runestones, and they can be either sustained, which is where when you cast it into the stone, it is active until you break the stone, in which case it is then no longer active, or it can be like an activated one, which is where it is dormant until you break the stone, in which case then the spell activates.
So it could be we're facing, like, if it is a group, it could be that there's only one that can actually cast the spells, or it could be they found some sort of trove of this kind of things.
It's
Or it could be a whole bunch of high-level magic users, and we're fucked.
Yeah.
it is
Or would
possible that very powerful anti-magic sphere runestones. Yes, except anti-magic sphere, I believe, it affects an area and then you can't cast magic in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can cast magic in here. I mean, Mir did a little cantrip in one of the spots the other day.
Well, anti-magic field also only lasts an hour, right?
Yeah.
But would that cleanse all notion of magic in the area, is the question.
Not
I don't know.
necessarily. But it could potentially be a modified version of that spell.
What about dispel magic? Would that remove the traces of the magic in the area?
Oh, yes.
That is
Because that would have disabled the camera system as well.
that one I actually know as a spell, so I would know.
Yes,
Shit.
it would absolutely do that.
Ah.
And you can cast dispel magic in a runestone.
Huh, yeah.
This is becoming complicated.
Although normally
I'm
dispel magic
fairly
doesn't affect an
certain
area,
this
it's a specific effect within range.
I'm fairly
still a-
certain.
Modified of some description.
What was that, Echo?
I'm fairly certain that if this is one person, whoever's putting the bodies out here is not doing it in any sort of frenzy or
No.
state.
Which begs the question, why are the bodies like this? If the one who drops them off and possibly takes them has the mental faculties to use a runestone.
Yeah.
There isn't any sort of impact site on the body wasn't drained of blood and then dropped from a height to.
No, it doesn't appear to have been dropped from a height.
Okay.
I mean, it would be difficult to tell. I suppose you could see if there's like a liquid impact, because that's about what you're getting with the body in the state it is. Does it look like the body was killed here? No, because
No.
you guys came to the conclusion that maybe not, because there's almost no blood.
Yeah.
And that just doesn't make sense.
I feel like either there's more than one person where one person is doing the taking and leaving and the other person is doing the actual kills, or and in which case the person doing the actual killing might be some sort of frenzied or whatever, or just there's one person and they're just terrible.
Does it look like the body is dumped or placed? Do you mean, like, does it look like it was dropped off here, or does it look like it was gently set down?
Does it look like it's been arranged?
It does not appear to have been arranged.
Okay.
Modified Dispel Magic wouldn't be super high level. Just a bit higher than 3rd.
Yeah. I mean, normally it targets a specific thing, so for it to be over an area, probably be higher magic, but maybe not necessarily as high as anti-magic shield.
Yeah.
Anti-magic shield.
So.
Maybe we're looking for, like, a sorcerer or something that can modify things through metamagic?
Lucian is peering closely at the what you're pretty certain is a broken runestone. And he's he's muttering to himself, and he's like, I don't know, I suppose we could check. Who has these? Where do they come from? I need to do some investigating.
Can we
Is
try
there anything-
scrying on the rock and see if...
If there's sky on the rock, you're probably going to get the rock, but you can give it a
okay,
shot.
fair. I was wondering whether we could find, like, the owner of the rock.
It might also get where the rock came from, so if you think it'll help, give it a try.
I mean,
This is
we
the
haven't
most.
got a whole lot of other leads right now, so...
This is the most breakthrough this man has had in 7 months.
Yeah.
I was hoping to get scry because I don't actually have that prepared today because I had things like
Yeah,
too
sure.
soon. Thank you.
I'm gonna have
I wonder
to
if I
put
should
down
even
the
keep
order. I
prepared to
have
be
them
put
here
bed or
on-
not because it doesn't seem like it's going to be terribly useful.
What was that,
And
Echo?
I'm pretty sure that's. I can't scry until I have a focus. I need
The stone, I guess, could work.
water. True.
Do a little bit of blood scrying. The slight reflective
Fine.
sheen.
Yeah.
The most morbid scrying known to mortal kind.
It's true.
And actually, there's divination based on entrails.
Yes.
Oh, fun.
This is not normally the
Excellent.
context in which that is, mentioned, but
Correct.
Fun.
But this is also D&D.
yep.
You're right. So if I scry on the rock, what do I see?
The spell fails.
Oh.
Huh.
What about the pumice?
Oh, the pumice fragments?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can try.
Screw those.
You can try.
Scrying is what, a 5th level? I just need to make sure I have the spell slots for it.
I'm going backwards to it in my search history.
I have two 5th level spells, so this is gonna be my last scry. If I try to I'm gonna
I'll try to make sure to prepare it myself tomorrow. Since,
Yeah.
Speak with Dead has not been terribly helpful.
They don't have
which I'm
mouths.
fairly certain
They
is
don't have
deliberate on the part of the killer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm
There's
assuming
no
at this
reason-
point that there is a spellcaster involved, and that means they would know Speak with Dead.
Yeah, and they would know that it would require and how to keep other people from casting it. Anyway,
Scrying specifically
out the-
targets a creature,
okay.
I will say.
Yep.
So you were scrying for the previous owner of the runestone, and the spell failed.
Yep.
I'm guessing the body is too mangled to raised it. Too much is missing.
I would say yes, certainly.
Yeah.
It's like
Says
Do
it
it.
closes all mortal wounds, but if it's lacking body parts or organs integral for its survival, the spell automatically fails. So,
I think it is.
It would be like trying to glue back together like a mug or something if your mug was made of dust.
It's kind of like human
Noted.
transmutation.
Potentially, I could cast.
That wasn't enough to bring back.
All the glue in the world isn't going to help that it's that fragmented.
Potentially,
Okay,
I
just
could
figured I'd
cast, reincarnation, but I don't have that prepared today.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if that's like a good idea.
What does that even
Might
do?
not
I'm looking at it.
It is the druid specific level 5 resurrection spell. You can do it without having a physical body of the dead person, or like all of it, and it brings them back in a body of a random race, essentially.
A new adult body.
You literally roll a die on
Oh, I
a
see.
race chart.
Huh.
And
But they do come back.
But they do come back. And they have their memory.
The question is, do we want to do that to them?
If the target's soul isn't free or willing to do so, the spell fails. The magic fashions a new body for the creature to inhabit, which likely causes the creature's race to change.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's fun.
But
Do it.
are we
Do it.
willing to inflict that upon this person? Because they would live with those memories forever.
Yeah.
If they were brought
Yo-yo
back.
again, though.
That's not worth it. All the yo-yos in the world, all the yo-yo championships in the world aren't worth remembering that forever.
Alpha,
fun.
yo-yos are always worth it.
I mean, does that
Traumatic as hell.
Could we find a spellcaster city that knows modify memory? After we get her, after we get her account, we just quietly remove that if she wants.
Jesus Christ.
That's a lot to remove.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
modify memory, I don't think modify memory would work for that.
Okay.
Yeah,
You might as well
modify
just wipe
memory.
your mind at that point.
A single casting of modify memory only works for about 10 minutes worth of memory, and this was like 3 days. So
Yeah,
enough.
this was 3
Mhm.
days of what we can assume was hell.
So, what are you doing?
Let her yo-yo again.
No.
Jesus Christ.
I don't have the spell today, so it would have to wait until tomorrow, even if we were to do that.
I mean, we can deliberate on it, but she can yo-yo again, guys.
I cannot condone it.
But
It
yo-yo.
doesn't seem like a good